Today we're going to be applying ratios. Joseph drives 125 miles in 2 hours. At the same rate, how far will he be able to travel in 6 hours? For this, you're going to use your table and you're going to label it, put our facts, put the process, and put the answer. So in this problem, we have miles and hours. Miles, hours. What facts do we know? We know that in 125 miles, it takes Joseph 2 hours to drive that. What are we looking for? How many miles in 6 hours? So make sure you put the 6 where the hours are. What are we doing to 2 to get to 6? Well, 6 is bigger, so it has to be, is it multiplication or division? Multiplication. So what do we do to 2 to get 6? Times 3. So if we did it down there, we have to do it down here, up here as well. And 125 times 3. In fact, this will tell you what it is 375 miles. And that makes sense because he's driving 6 hours, not 2 hours. So it would have to be bigger than 125. Let's move on to the next one. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to predict from a given ratio or rate. In Miss Tracy's class, 12 out of 16 students bought pizza for lunch. At this rate, if there are 240 students in the entire school, how many students can be expected to buy pizza? So our units are going to be students and pizza. So we would draw our table. 1, 2, 3. Label, facts, process, answer. All right, so we have students, pizza and students. All right, how many brought pizza for lunch? 12, that's our facts that we know. And out of how many total students? 16. Now we want to know, at this rate, if there are 240 students in the entire school, how many can be expected to buy pizza? So we have to put that where it says students, 240. Now you have to figure out, what are they doing to 16 to get 240? Now, you may not know that real quickly in your head, so you would have to go to the side and divide. We know they're multiplying because it's getting bigger. So you would have to multiply 240 by 16. And if you work that out, you would get 15. All right, so that means it's times 15 at the bottom, and you have to do times 15 at the top in order to get how many pizzas that you need. So you would go to the side and multiply 12 times 15 to get your answer. And you should get 180. That's our answer of how many students can be expected to buy pizza for lunch. And that makes sense because it's bigger than 12 students choosing pizza because we want how many in the whole school. Joy spends 30 minutes writing 10 sentences on an assignment. If she has 30 more sentences to write and continues writing at the same rate, how long will it take her to finish the assignment? First thing is you have your table. And then we're going to have minutes to sentences. The information we have is she spends 30 minutes writing 10 sentences. So if she's going to write 30 more, what 30 plus 30 is 60. So we want to know how many minutes for 60 sentences, because 30 more would be, did that wrong. She wrote 10 sentences. She wants 30 more sentences. So actually this would be 40. Sorry about that. 40 sentences because she was writing 10 sentences and she's going to write 30 more. 30 plus 10 is 40. All right, so now we can look at our process. How do we get from 10 to 40? Well, it's bigger, so we know it's multiplication. 10 times 4 is 40, so we have to do times 4 at the top. 30 times 4 is 120. And that's what we're looking for. How long will it take her to finish the assignment? 120 minutes. On a particular map, the scale is 1 inch to 12 miles. How many inches represent 60 miles on the map? Okay, so label, fact, process, answer. After a while, you might get used to this and you will memorize it. You don't have to write LFPA every time, but for now, you might want to do that until you get used to it. So we have inches to miles. What facts do we have? 1 inch to 12 miles. Make sure you write the numbers in the correct place. How many inches represent 60 miles? So the 60 would go here. Now the process, we go from 12 to 60. It's getting bigger, so we know it's going to be multiplication. 12 times what is 60? Well, it's times 5. So our answer is 5. Let's see if it makes sense. 60 miles on the map. Inches is 5. Yep, that makes sense because our first number was 1. And we're doing 60 miles, not 12 miles. It makes sense. Let's go on to the next one. A long-distance runner rests for the same amount of time every hour. If she rested a total of 18 minutes after 3 hours, which proportion can be used to find the number of minutes she will rest after 7 hours? So we have our label is our minutes to hours. What facts do we have? Sorry, that should say in minutes, so we don't think it's miles. 18 minutes after 3 hours. Which proportion can be used to find the number of minutes she will rest after 7 hours? So I'll give you time to think about that. All right, this question is asking which proportion. So it's not asking you to solve it. It's asking for which proportion can be used to find the number of minutes. So we've already got it right here. This is the proportion. And on your test that you'll be taking soon, it's going to look like this. And then it'll have an X on top or something like that, or a question mark for the answer you're trying to get. So we would use that proportion to get the answer. So on this one, it is not asking you to solve it. All right, here's some practice problems. I'm going to have you practice with a partner or individually, just depending how much time we have in class. So you will practice using a table and solving these problems. Now that you have completed that, your cool down is to go to objective number 2 and watch a teacher video number 2, 6.4D, Rate World Problems. You're going to take notes on that video, and you're going to show me those notes. You're also going to do the check for understanding. It's going to say check for understanding, rates, Wiser Me. Remember, this is all under objective number 2.